everybody, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership Master League Summer Season. I'm your host, Angela, and I'm joined by Adi. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. Clash Royale was fun, but
Yes,
now it's time for some
now it's
Counter
time for your
Strike.
big game,
Yes.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We have some two great teams playing today, so let's see who the first team is. ATA Gaming, let's have faces for you. All right, so that is ATA Gaming for you folks. Adi, I want to hear more about this team from you.
Yes, I mean, AT Gaming, right? I've talked about their name, I've talked about their stature, what AT Gaming means to most of the Counter Strike fans out there, right? Because for the longest time, they were unbeatable in the Counter Strike scene in India. We're talking about the 1.6 days and even all the way back to the 1.5 days when they were called Acid. And I was a bit disappointed with AT because they were not living up to that name. But finally, in the last game, I mean, okay, let's be fair to them as well. They have had, no pun intended, a brutal start to the campaign as well because they
Yeah.
are a new team as well. And their first game was against Malhar, which is ex. Yeah, Eternal. Their next game was against Invictus, again, ex Entity.
Yeah.
Then their next game was against Brutality, and then they had to play too easy. But finally, they actually did
Ouch.
pick it up. Yeah, exactly, right? They literally played what I think might be the top four, at least
True.
one of the top fours, maybe top five. One, four of the top five is they've already done with it. They're already
Yeah.
done with it, and they've beaten too easy at least now. And so that was good. They picked up their game against too easy on Cobblestone, and I think things are looking up for them. And I hope they continue that preparation because they were definitely prepared when it went to Cobblestone, and I hope they've brought that into all their other maps as well. The get the caches and the mirages in out of the way, and then definitely prepare on the outlier maps, which are Overpass and
Yeah.
Nuke Train, even Inferno. Inferno is definitely not an outlier anymore because we've seen it 10 times in the first 16 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, AT Gaming. Also, by the way, I have just got word that AT Gaming is playing with a substitute again. Ryder is going to be playing in place of Buster.
Okay. Do you
So
think that's going to affect their performance by quite a bit?
Uh, it depends. Maybe on the T side, Ryder actually would do better, but on the CT side, Buster has been a rock for them. Like he's a very clutch player as well, Buster. He doesn't really go nuts,
Yeah.
but he will get you the clutch. If he's in a 1-on-2, 1-on-3, or he will really support you very well if, it's a 2-on-3 retake, something like that. So they will miss that element, but Ryder has been playing with a few of these guys with rotation stuff as well earlier, so I think it should be fine.
All right, and then going up today against ATE Gaming is going to be a team that is pretty known to me. I hope you guys know them too. It's going to be Team SRA. Let's see you. All right, and it's Team SRA for you folks. Adi, you've seen this team play before. What are your thoughts about them?
The SRA has actually started pretty decently in the Masters League, right? They started with actually a 3-0 scoreline, beating Wackband 16-13 on Inferno, beating uh, War on Mirage 16-11, and then Intensity Pune 5 16-12. But since then, they've been on a bit of a bad streak as such because they've lost to Portal Esports on Inferno, and they've also lost to Invictus on Inferno again. So I'm pretty sure they're going to avoid Inferno at this point because it's not going very well for them.
Yeah.
And this is also now another big test for SRA because they are playing against a revitalized AT, let's say again, because
True.
they're just coming off the back of a victory against Too Easy, right? So
Yeah.
the tails are going to be up, they're going to be full of confidence. So it's going to be a tough ask for Wargaming to do something in this.
Okay, so talking about these two teams, we could also see where they're standing as of now on the board and then make out how far they have to climb up to make it to the land finale.
Yeah. If you could get the standings table up. There
All
it
right.
is. Invictus, top, huh? It's actually not a surprise. Brutality is up there as well, unbeaten. And the SRA is actually sitting in fourth, by the way.
Okay, so
And
that's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, that's actually the surprise
They
for
play the
me.
max amount of games too, I think, apart from War and Backband.
Yeah, that's actually a bit of a surprise. And AT Gaming, again, like I said, they've had a rough start. They are down on the 10th position, but
Yeah.
it's not. Again, like I said, it's been a very difficult start for them. They've already played four of the five best teams in the Masters League, according to
Yeah.
me. So for them, from
Gets
now
easy
on,
from
it should
here.
be it
A
should
little
be
easier.
smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I honestly, I really hope AT Gaming ends up with all the rest of their games being victories. Maybe a 7-3 or at least a 7-4, if not a 8-3 score line towards the end, like a wins to losses ratio
Yeah.
towards the end of the league. And obviously, a lot of the other teams still have to play a lot of their games, like right in the middle of the table, right? Entities barely played three games.
Yeah.
Too easy again, just three games. They're both sitting, and they're, by the way, fifth and sixth position. And I actually think that Entity and Too Easy are going to still end up in the top two spot because they still have to play Invictus, they still have to play
A lot of
Brutality,
games line up for
things
them.
like that. I think they will still come up in the leaderboard. But yeah, I mean, right now it's fourth place versus 10th, and you wouldn't have thought it, right? Like if you
Yeah.
ever said to anyone that AT Gaming is sitting on the 10th
They
position,
wouldn't believe it.
yeah, they'd be like, are the roles reversed right now? Shouldn't SRA be 10th? But like I said, SRA had
Yeah.
a relatively easier start, while AT has had a very rough start.
All
But
right.
yeah, I mean, I think we should just get into the veto and see how
Definitely.
this is
And you have
gonna go.
mentioned that SRA got to be careful not to go on that inferno. So let's see what the video has in store for us. It's already done and ready.
And Cash, Inferno, and Overpass banned by AT, Cobblestone Train, and Nuke banned by SRA. I'm actually very surprised that AT pushed this towards Nuke and Mirage at the end. That shows that shows two things. Either they were really confident that SRA was not going to pick Nuke, or they were really confident on Nuke, which would
Yeah.
be a surprise to me as well, because I haven't seen AT practice on Nuke at all. But I could be wrong, of course, because I do not really have the time anymore to follow up with all the teams.
True.
So I mean, it's Mirage. It's we haven't seen Mirage that much, by the way, in this league. In fact, I'm just gonna quickly pull up my stats on the maps. Right, we've seen Mirage only 4 times as of now. So this will be the 5th time we see Mirage in the Masters League in this season, and I think the map suits AT Gaming
Yeah.
because it leans more towards firepower, and because of that, SRA is not going to be a slouch either because they have some really good players in their squad as well, especially Guru and Negative, right? And even Macho to an extent is a really really good player, but. Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen how it's going to go on Mirage, but I do think we can do that map video, by the way.
Definitely.
Yep.
So with that, since I really don't know Mirage much and it's hardly played in the ESL India Premiership, let's see what the map's all about.
Mirage. While Mirage relies heavily on middle control, thus enabling the terrorists to oscillate to either bomb site. It offers a different dynamic of seizing bomb sites instantly through carefully placed smoke grenades.
All right. So
Okay, apparently that's to me now.
okay.
So
Well, that's
that was
Mirage.
Mirage.
Yeah.
It was from Vagish. Vagish is sweet, sexy voice, did
Yeah.
the talking of that. But yeah, I mean, Mirage is a map where the mid
Yeah.
control is really important. That's basically what the map video tells you. The mid control is you're gonna see both the teams fighting for mid control right in the start. And especially, I think Mirage is such a map where the CTs have to be very proactive, very aggressive, take mid control, take something or the other. Like, don't just sit back and don't just defend. You'll
Yeah.
have to take once if not mid, take A apartments, take B apartments, do something proactively and get a pick, because if you don't, it's gonna go badly because you can get overwhelmed on
True.
every bomb site. You can get executed upon. So yeah, I mean, I think this game is gonna be an absolute brawl.
Yeah.
But I do think
Who do you think is
it's-
gonna take
yeah,
it?
I think it's gonna be ATE.
It's gonna
But
be
it's
ATE.
gonna be really close, and I think we're in for a long game.
All right, so for everybody who's just tuning in, this is the ESL India Premiership Master League Summer Season. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is going on. It's going to be Mirage. I'd like to thank my Steam sponsors, owned by HP, HyperX, and Tel, and it's all organized here by Nodbin Gaming. Our casters are ready. Mama and Fett, take it and go.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. This is the Masters Division. And today we're going to be watching SRA versus ATE on the map Mirage. Joining me, as always, is the man whose alacrity for Indian CS knows no bound, the ever jovial, ever jubilant Mr. Mamba SR. Mamba, how are you doing?
I think the only reason why I've been not taking these intros is because I cannot find these fancy words that you use for me. So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here, and always an even bigger pleasure to cast with you. And I've been casting with Blair as well lately, and talk about these two teams, AT Gaming and SRA. We did go over pretty much all the teams yesterday when I was talking to Blair, and he mentioned the fact how the other teams have been stepping up. But one of the questions that I have for you, Fit, is about AT Gaming, right? Because we were having this conversation before the game started. I want to know, with the newer addition that Deathmaker has been to the team, what do you think? How does this team fare out against the other teams in the Masters Division?
I mean, see, ATE's results haven't been that impressive of late. I mean, the analysts also touched upon that exact same point. But Ryder landing a nice headshot onto the Guru. The thing is, they came with a lot of promise. But the problem has been that they haven't been able to live up to the hype that was generated around them. Now, ATE has been a legendary gaming in the Indian CSGO scene. The name has been around for a very long time. And those are some really big shoes to fill. I'm guessing it's going to take a little bit more time for these players to gel together and actually start living up to that name that, ATE promises, that the level that ATE has been represented by in the past. It's going to take some time. This is a fairly new squad, and yeah. And as you just saw, SRA just wiping the floor with ATE in that pistol round, but Deathmaker opening things up for the juicy Hwandig. And I mean, the season so far has been all about the anti-eco upsets, and it's just been one team after the other breaking the team that wins the pistol round with the force buys. I'm just hoping the teams figure out how to play the anti-force soon enough, because it's not par for the course to have such a high loss percentage. And this is not just one team. Guru spots out Ritz, rattles off a few shots, but unable to connect with anything. Ritz deciding better against going for the boost, but still gonna go for it. That nade though, gonna sail in, do a lot of damage, and Guru's ready though. So yeah, as I was saying, teams really need to figure out how to play the anti-force buys, and SRA seem to have a decent idea as to where this hit might be coming. ATE gets some early mid control. Again, as the analyst told you, mid is a very important area in the map. And now they're going to go in for an all-out B hit.
Well, it's going to be Affleck waiting down with the MP7, and they do have a smoke to work with, so to speak. It is going to be interesting to see, though, because Macho is going to be on the crossfire. This could be a slaughterhouse coming in, and Affleck is going to get taken up by Wraiths. It is going to be Macho getting the first and try and get the second as well. He's going to run out of bullets. It's going to be major, though. Getting the frag onto it as well. Macho gets taken now by Kappa. It is looking a 2v3 situation in the favor of the terrorist side, and Kappa is going to be surviving. This is pretty much barely surviving on 8 points of health. So a really crucial round for both the teams. Guru is going to be on the backstab, and the C4 has not been planted yet. And it's going to be Hellfire who is going to board the plant. He's going to get taken down, and so is Guru is going to be coming from behind. Ryder getting the frag, and it's Major getting a 3k and saving the day for Slaughter Rage Army. And we've talked a lot about AT Gaming. Talking about SRA, right? These guys did go to, I think they traveled down to Kolkata along with Sai and put up a decent show as well. I've seen MGR play quite a bit. Afflex has been a little impressive, but not too much. But overall, I've not seen these guys play a lot, right? Except for MGR, who I've seen playing some pugs on So Strong. So I think these guys can give a fight. But the way these guys, the way AT Gaming was looking in the last map, especially with Deathmaker coming in, this could actually be a close game, because Mirage is a map which has been known to be one of the maps for Rockstars and for the lesser experienced team. But Deathmaker is going to find the headshot with the deagle onto Guru, and the nade going in is going to do quite a bit of damage to. Well, no mind, it's not going to do any damage to anyone. I thought it was Deathmaker who took that nade, but nonetheless, it is going to be Dream waiting down. So yeah, talking about the map, Mirage. It's one of the easier maps to play comparatively if you compare it to like a map like Overpass, and you hate Cobblestone, right? Someone even mentioned that. So a map like Overpass or Nuke, I think Mirage is a much more simpler map, because you don't have bomb sites which are on different levels, right? The rotations are pretty simple. They're not as complicated as Nuke, or I won't even say complicated. It's comparatively simpler, right? Because when you talk about Overpass, two bombs have been stacked on top of each other. But in the meantime, Major is going to find the first one. Can he find the second as well? It is going to be Ritz who's going to go down Dream, get the headshot onto it. and will have the MP9 to work. He's going to throw in a nade, which is not really going to do a lot of damage. Right, at 28 points of well, and AJ again getting one more frag, and Dream is being a little too optimistic. And Afflex is going to be behind him, giving him the cover, and Ryder is going to go down as well. And talking about Ryder, he has been one of the newer additions as well, I think. No, he was the sub. And Ritz was pretty upset in the last game when we mentioned that Ritz has been benched, but he was just on a trip fit.
Yeah. I think he'd just come back from a holiday in Thailand or Bangkok, one of the two. I'm not really sure. But he did feature in that game. He did step in for one of the players who timed out as a sub, and had a pretty good impact against 2EZ Gaming. Now Cobblestone, I hate that map. I'll just be honest. I really don't like it. I think it has no business being in the active duty anymore. But I don't think that it's gonna get taken out of the active duty map pool anytime soon. That being said, yes, as you mentioned, Mirage is relatively easier to play. And now the reason that is not because it's a simple map or a simplistic design. It's because it's been around for so long, the teams know exactly what to do, and it does favor the pug style of play a little bit more. Dream needs to be careful, and as I say that, he gets executed by Deathmaker, gangland style, just shot in the back of the head. Now it's Major towards the A bomb site. Macho does find Ritz, but the A bomb site is gonna hinge on Major, and Ryder is just gonna come around and scalp him. This is the first gun round for ATE, and it's going rather well until a Flex opens up that spray down, but unable to land the long range spray. And there's Hellfighter with the final kill. Macho bites the dust, and ATE put their first round on the board. And they do so by keeping 3 players alive, which is crucial because they can start building their economy from this point onwards. SRA, owing to the fact that those first 2 rounds came, the first 2 buy rounds for them came so close, they lost, I think, 3 players each time. Gonna be a bit dicey to string a buy together. We may be looking at an eco, and the Guru and Dream are in the double eco territory. So this is gonna get very dicey for SRA. Let's see how they answer. Yeah.
They wanted to call in a timeout. I think they are forgetting about the fact that they could just stop the round and call in a timeout again. But nonetheless, we are going to see a timeout coming in the next round. I think one of the players has some sort of an issue. They're just staying out towards a base. So I'm still surprised that they're not calling in dot stop. But nonetheless, looking at the amount of information that the CDs have towards the B bomb side, right? It's going to be crucial for the terror side to get those frags coming in towards the bomb side. Ryder, look at that. He's in such a good position right now. Dream is being a little aggressive. Macho is going to get spotted. Is going to get taken on as well. And Affleck's not in a position to get the trade. And Ryder is going to get caught off guard with his pants down. He's going to get destroyed by Affleck's P2K and Rates going around the corner. Is he going to take his corner? What is even happening? Dream is going to allow him to walk right past him. He's going to get taken down. So unfortunate. Rates making his way towards A bomb side. Is going to get a 3K. Something we've not seen him do since a very long time. But nonetheless, commendable coming in from Ritz, and Dream making a mistake, allowing him to just walk right past him. And Affleck being volleyed off in a 1v3 situation has to pull this off to try and get the round. Because Ritz is going to get spoiled, going to get taken down as well. He's going to be on the reload. Now reload syndrome. He was in a really bad spot. Reload that one, by the way. And then also he's going to go, which is going to flash out Hellfighter. And that is exactly what's going to happen. Hellfighter being spotted is going to find the frag onto Afflex, and that is going to be the second round coming up for AT Gaming.
Well, unfortunate there for a Flex. That aim punch really hit him hard. His aim just went sky high there. And ATE, now this is where they have to decide. So not ATE, SRA. This is where they decide whether they go for the force, because 3 players can buy up, and the Guru and Dream. I mean, Dream can go for the armor ump and take it from there. Guru will have to settle with the armor pistol. While on the T side, these buys do tend to work out more often than not, primarily because the T side economy is a lot more forgiving as compared to the CT side, and also you can pair up and use the buddy system to great effect on the T side because you are the team aggressing onto the bomb sites. On the CT side though, it's a very different story. If you're going to be going for the pistol buy, yeah, they're not. They're still going to go for the double eco. It's going to be Major and a Flex who've just picked up the armor pistol to try and give themselves a bit of a fighting chance, and Guru with nothing but the USP. Curious to see ATE not going for early map control. They know it's going to be a more or less an eco round coming out from them, coming out from their opponents. So it's interesting to see that they go for the B bomb site. It is the bomb. Oh, as I say that, Hellfighter just wrecks Macho. And a Flex still on the bomb site, playing up close with the CZ. Does have some armor to play with. This time, the aim punch is not going to be that big of a deal. But, you know, it's the AK-47s, one shot, headshot, and you're bye-bye for the round. And a flex rattles off a couple of shots. Hellfighter does find, Major does find Deathmaker though, but in the meantime, Dream and Major, they have to make something happen. Major with a 3k, but Kappa and Ryder see off that round. Hellfighter again, 2k for him. He's having a decent game so far. Everyone on ATE, they've seemed to have woken up and showed up to the game big time. And now SRA, they'll have the rifles out, they'll have all the utility and the, you know, toys to play with. It's their time to come out and shine. Major picks up the AWP, so does Macho. And it's going to be the double up.
The way the first half has been going is, I won't say it's been close. It's just been, you know, AT Gaming winning all the buy rounds in the favor. But a double upset upon the CD side is a little too ambitious, but, you know, it's Mirage, so it could actually work out. But the amount of money they've put in, right, they are going to lose out on important utility, but, you know, I think it's Guru who doesn't have the amount of money needed to work with. But surprised at the fact that Major, though, did not go in. Even though it could not be that big of a deal, but if they go in for a set execute or a set take, right, that could be the difference between winning and losing the round. But in the meantime, Guru is going to be waiting it out towards Connector. Kappa inside the underpass area has not been spotted, or maybe has he been spotted? Not quite sure about that. But the C4 has been dropped on the terrace space, and no one from the terrace side is even remotely close near the to the bomb. So this is going to be a disaster. I don't think they've still realized where the C4 is, and everyone's just coming towards A bomb set. This is going to be an issue for these guys, right? Is going to spot Guru is playing a little too passive and giving a lot more respect than AT deserves at this point. And Major is going to miss out on a shot. You cannot miss those shots, Major. And it's again somehow find the frag onto him. It is going to be Macho and Afflex all alone. And if these guys end up losing this round, I think they have a lot more to learn, the CD side that is, and it's going to be Kappa who will have to fall back all the way to the terrace base to pick up the C4. And this is the difference between winning and losing the round. Kappa, had someone from the team had the C4, right, he could have went along with his teammates, maybe just get the trade or cut off the rotation. Now he had to waste so much time, go back to the terrace base and get the C4, that this just changes the entire outcome of the round and entire the way the entire round is going to get played out. So it is going to be Affleck and Macho towards A bombs, that they do realize that it has to be an A hit, and Kappa is going to drop down. They do realize what the C4 is, and they are not going to peek out. Alright, they are not going to peek out, and Kappa just watching jungle. He's going to wait it out. He's going to wait it out below the palace. Now he has a really good angle towards CT, but has to watch both angles because, you know, he doesn't know where the CTs are coming from, but knows where one of them is coming in from. Afflex is going to get spotted, so is Kappa, and Kappa is going to get the first, going to get the second as well, is going to get it. Afflex on 8 points of health is not going to be able to survive that spray transfer. We get taken down, and that was well, I won't say a wonderful round, but that was quite a round coming in, because AT Gaming, you know, making such a huge mistake, and in the end somehow still winning the round.
Well, Kappa just proving that he still got it. One of the old members of the Indian CSGO professional community. He's been around for donkey's years, and he's just proving that with experience, it's, you know, his reflexes may have taken a hit, but his positioning, his game knowledge, and all the experience that he brings to the table is more than enough to clutch out round after round. And yeah, ATE did bring that down to the wire, but there's Major opening things up. Down goes Deathmaker. Hellfighter caught in a rather sticky situation towards Palace. He needs some help from his teammates, because he's going to get bum rushed in Palace. And Dream come pushing. Hellfighter, oh, the luck. Just could have been caught with the nade out and his pants down there, but somehow managing to survive. And look at that push again. Ritz, he's going to land a juicy 2-man spray down, and that's the B bomb side just ripe for the taking. And now Hellfighter can just shoot the players who come on the flank. Will he be able to get the Guru is the question. The answer is a resounding yes. Shot in the face with a 7.62 bullet. The Guru is not having a good game so far. He is not going to have...
PUBG, is it?
Yeah, exactly. He's not a happy kitten. And Hellfighter playing a very cheeky angle. Dream needs to be careful. I don't think he expects Hellfighter to be playing from where he is. And no, he doesn't. Hellfighter does get the kill. And the final player, that's MJR, falls to, you know, the veteran, Kappa.
Well, quite a bit of PUBG you've been playing, but it's fun. Getting back to the game, AT Gaming is going to pick up 5 rounds in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was 5 rounds in a row, and Major surviving on one point of health right there. So quite interesting the way AT Gaming started pulling those buy rounds off. Now it is all the pressure is going to be on SRA, because they have the guns to work with, and the last round was something they could have not exactly pulled out, but they've been making some silly mistakes, right? They have been losing out on rounds they should not have, and Ritz is going to find the opening with the AWP. Alright, So there's going to be major falling back from window, falling back towards A-bombs. And Palace is being taken care of so slope, and I'm kind of surprised at the way these guys are holding their angles, right? It's such an aggressive angle, and Dream was almost exposed for more than 3 seconds from Palace, while Major was not even looking at it. So questionable crossfire is coming in from both the teams, but Afflex is going to abuse that edge on the smoke. Deathmaker is going to get taken down, and this is where experience comes in. Deathmaker being a little sneaky, trusting his aim, but Kappa is going to get the headshot onto Dream. It is going to be Major waiting it out. Can you find the frag on the Kappa? So nope, that is not going to happen. It's going to jump around the corner. Kappa just waiting it out. And again, reducing it to a 3v4. Now, the CTs are just giving away their frags and they haven't been able to get those trades right? We've seen them being in situations where they have the numbers advantage, but they have just not been able to get the trades right. Hellfighter is going to find the frag onto Major again. He was stuck in such a bad position. Afflex could have tried and helped him. But well, that didn't happen. Affleck is going to be surrounding 2 points of health. They know where exactly he is. But it's still a 2v2, right? So Hellfighter might not want to push. And I think he just got spotted right there. He's going to be coming in. Affleck just waiting it out. Is he going to get... Affleck is going to go down. Hellfighter watching Connector. And the second shot onto Machi coming in really clean as well. So that is going to be the 6th round coming for ATA Gaming, right?
I mean, see, I think it comes down to the veto. You were right. The CT setup so far has been... I feel extremely static. They're playing their default 2-1-2. There's nothing innovative about the way the CTs are setting up early round. There's no aggression towards mid. There's no active mid control. It's just the one opper towards window. You have one player playing stairs who'll switch towards connector, and one player playing B short who'll switch towards mid if need be. It's a very static setup coming out from the CTs, and they're getting punished over and over again. I want them to do things what they're doing on their pistol rounds, on their buy rounds. No, grow a pair. Go for some aggression. Nut up or shut up, as they say. Like, it's just not happening. They're playing a very static, traditional Mirage on their buy rounds, and they're paying for it with their lives over and over again. They're never getting the man advantage, and like you said, their trade game hence is suffering because they're always at the numbers deficit. And ATE, they're just exploiting the freedom that they're being given over towards mid. They're just waltzing in, getting the kills, getting the trades, and just making it happen. They're the ones who are engaging in the proactive plays. There we see that boost not really working out, but the Guru with the CZ gets a kill nonetheless. It's a 4v4.
And well, it's going to be Marcher falling back, picking up that UMP-45 and trying to find the frags. It is going to be Ritz is going to get taken on. Guru is going to find the frag onto Deathmaker. And being in a 1v2 has to do a lot of work. Only has 12 bullets to work with. This is going to be a monumental task. And well, he's going to fall down. So that is going to be the 7th round coming up. And AT Gaming have just been dominating Slaughter Rage Army post that buy round. And SRA has not been able to do anything about it. So it's a little upsetting that AT Game just manhandling a newer team in the Masters division, and it's upsetting for the CD side as well. They have called in a tactical timeout. Not quite sure what they're going to be discussing because they are all over the place, right? They are trying to spread out, but the very first thing that I really want to point out is the trades, which have not been coming in. Second is their setup. Or you can probably switch that up because it's because of the setup that the trades are not coming in, right? It's these two things depend on each other. If you don't have your setup right, the trades are not going to come in. Because for example, right, we had one guy, I think it was 2 or 3 rounds back, one guy was inside window watching connector, and someone said one of the players still actually sneaked in towards connector, and the opper got taken down onto stairs, and there was nobody to back him up, and that is exactly what happened. So the setup from these guys have not been good. They've just been lackluster, so to speak. I mean, I'm just trying to use a better word, right? Because in plain words, it's been terrible. I don't want to say that. It's just I think it's a little harsh for them because they don't have that experience. But again, you're in the Masters division. It's a pool full of sharks, right? So you have to be sharp. You have to be on point, and your game, at least it's even if not your aim, your game sense has to be on point. Look at Kappa, right? He has been around for such a long time. It's his experience as well coming in. I think one of the players just timed out. It is going to be March who timed out, and overall, yeah, I think that is one of the bigger problems with Slaughter Rage Army.
Yeah, and also, I think that the veto overall favors ATE's playstyle. As I mentioned, the 5 players on ATE, they're a new unit. They haven't been around for the longest time. So they're also figuring out their team dynamics and, how to work better as a unit. So Mirage actually favors into their more loose playstyle. Mirage is a pug-style map. It does favor aim. Because at the end of the day, there's only so many strats or executes you can do on Mirage. It's a played out map. It's been around since the beginning of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So allowing Mirage to come through, I think, was a mistake. SRA would have done way better had they, I think this is not just an indictment for SRA or ATE or anything of that sort. If you're a professional gamer in India and have a professional team, I suggest you work on maps like Overpass, maps like, Train, for instance, or Inferno. Everyone's playing Inferno more or less, it's crazy popular this season at least. But never seen a Train map and only seen Overpass thrice thus far. And we're quite a fair ways into the first season of the Masters League so working on a map like Train or Overpass or even Nuke is a bit of a toss-up because it's the permaban for almost every team out there, so I don't know if you should waste your time on a map like Nuke. But playing a map which requires more teamwork, which focuses more on strategy, executes, and just something a bit deeper than your standard trade game and god tier aim, will suit teams a lot better while facing off against more seasoned opponents who are forming new teams. Because I've noticed the old guard have this habit of breaking up teams and forming their own new lineups every other day.
I forgot the word though. I've fallen prey to that.
Yeah.
Remember the Simplex days, yeah.
So it just hurts the scene, it just hurts the teams because you have to work on the brand new dynamic. Even if you pug with these guys over and over again and you like them, it's a very different game dynamic when you're playing a serious professional game of 5v5 Counter-Strike as compared to a pug or even a scrim for that matter. So I would suggest teams actually start working on maps like Train and Overpass to just have that in their arsenal to try and force that against teams of ATE's nature. Because they're a pug team. They relish an aim duel. They love taking fights, and a map like Mirage or a Cache really plays into their playstyle. You're putting the ball in their court. That should never happen. The ball must always remain in your court so that you can whack it about as you please and dictate the terms and the pace of the game to your opponent, and not vice versa.
And other than that, I think I'll just go a little off topic, but talking about the newer teams, right? For someone who has been trying to learn the basics of Counter-Strike, or maybe as a team you're trying to get the basics of Counter-Strike down like to the book, to the dot, I think just watch Too Easy, right? Just watch them play. Don't try to copy the playstyle, right? Just try and understand why were these decisions made by the team as a whole, or if two players are playing a certain bomb site, why are they making these decisions? Or if there are two people trying to break into a bomb site, if they're playing the buddy system or not, if they're trying to break into a bomb site, just try and figure out why were these decisions taken, and you learn the basics of Counter-Strike in a week. No, I'm not even kidding, because the way these guys play, right, Too Easy, they don't go for flashy plays, even though they're more than capable of it. Right? Look at Tito, look at Drex. We have Poke as well, who has been stepping up, and we have someone as experienced as Shinchan. So all of these guys, they have the capability of making those flashy plays, but they can control themselves as well. They know when to go in and when not to go in, and they just get their basics right. And just getting your basics right can destroy pretty much most of the Indian teams, except for 2 or 3 teams. For example, a team like Entity Gaming will take you down if you only have your basics and not something else to add on to that. And I think a team like Malhar as well, because it's literally quite, I think it's just Eternal. But other than that, I think the other one would be Invictus. So other than these 3 teams, I think they should it should get you through all the other teams. But getting your basics right is something that's really important. And if I was going to talk to SRA post the game, I'd just tell them, go down there, watch your demo, try and figure out what you did wrong. If you cannot figure out what you did wrong, go watch Too Easy play, and then go back and watch your demo again.
Yeah, that is very important. Having your basics down is never a bad thing, and Too Easy just took the scene by storm because of their strong basics the last season around. Just pure trades. And Adi and I brought this point up multiple times, both while casting and analyzing them, that it's because of their exceptionally strong trade game that they've been able to post the results that they did last season. But it all comes down to evolution and the journey. And Too Easy haven't had that easy of a good of a time this year around, because of the fact that they're still relying heavily on their trade game, and teams have caught on to that fact, and they've started to counter just that, and are exploiting Too Easy's heavy reliance on the trade. Anyway, we're live with the game. All 10 players are back in the server. Hellfight are going a bit aggro, trying to do some damage, trying to draw the attention of the opponents towards the B bomb site. And yet again, SRA give up mid. Major does find the opening frag, but he's gonna get mowed down by Deathmaker. Those AK-47 bullets really hurt. Smoke
Well, I
or
mean-
not. And
But the smoke is going to be coming into it short, and it is going to be negative. Well, there is a gap in this smoke, so this could be disastrous for the Terror side if they try and sneak in towards connector, but that is not going to happen. We have Kappa and Major being deleted off the server, so it is going to be a 4v4 situation to work with Guru towards a B bomb side, and it is going to be a B. 50 seconds on the clock to work with Guru. Jumping a little too much, it's a little too high for my taste, but the flashbang is going to get thrown, which is not really going to blind anyone. Like, I mean, I just do not understand the point of that flashback, but in the meantime, it's going to be negative is going to come in towards the B-bomb side. The Molotov coming up as well as Guru is going to be as blind as a bat in the daytime, and negative is going to go down as well. Hellfighter getting 2 openings right then. Affleck so unlucky right there. It's surviving with 21 points of health. That's just unfortunate. A dream, and they have 2 ops to work with. They should just fall back at this point. And no one. Alright, so one more mistake. No one's watching the cross, and both the players are falling back. I cannot absolutely understand you want to fall back when you have to. Just ask one of the guys to hold the angle, right? Even though they were not pushing, but in a 4v2 situation, someone like me, right, who just wants to be a little too adventurous, or someone like Deathmaker who is feeling it, would probably push in and get one of the 2 ops down, right? So it's a huge investment, but a lot of basic flaws coming from Slaughter Rage Army.
I mean, again, SRA, it's clear that they have a lot of work to go into their game, and they need a lot more work. Ryder does find Dream. Wow, okay, a flex. There you go. One of the ops does get taken out of the hands of Slaughter Rage Army, and SRA are in some sort of a downward spiral. Now, I cast their game that they won on Inferno against Vakband, and they have this really nasty habit of just forcing it up and trying to force the issue till Kingdom Come. And that's on the CT side. That's a very bad habit. Now, while a team like Vakband may have slipped up again because of their lack of experience, might have afforded them that opportunity and opening to come back into the game, a team like ATE will not. A team like ATE, if they smell blood, they're going to go for the jugular. They're not going to give you any room or any sort of openings back into a game. And the fact that that SRA constantly rely on their force buys to try and make something happen and force the issue, it's not going to do them any favors down the line. And you can see that right now. Yes, ATE are a man down, but they still don't look out of control off the round. Hellfighter pulls 1 kill back. A flex is caught in no man's land. Major really needs to help his teammate out, otherwise it's going to be a really bad day for a flex. Deathmaker, they're both very tunnel visioned here towards mid. Major, this is the perfect opportunity for him to pounce and strike. But again, the static CT setup, what we spoke about, no one is going to take the initiative to actually go out and take the fight. They're waiting for ATE to come towards them and walk into their crosshairs, but the problem is ATE are just hitting some crazy shots right now and they're winning all the duels. Negative finally does get the kill on the Hellfighter, and Ritz is so very low, 3 HP, and it's down to a 2v2, essentially a 1v2, but that nade... it's the smoke. Alright, Negative can breathe a sigh of relief. Bomb will get planted though, and Deathmaker is in a very good position. I think he should swap out to the AK-47 at this point. Will do him a lot better. Or just swap out weapons with Ritz. Ritz is a pretty potent opper in his own right. And Deathmaker is going to make his way in towards Connector. It is planted for him, and I like the post plant coming in from Ritz. ATE, they have good post plants. SRA, they're wasting a bit too much time trying to ascertain which angles to, peek out marking. In the meantime, they don't have a kit, and the bomb timer is ticking away.
And well, it's gonna be negative. who's gonna get spotted? Deathmaker trying to find the frag is gonna be able to connect the shot with the arm. And Guru, well, he realizes he doesn't have a kit, does not have enough time to work with either, so he's just gonna fall back. And AT Gaming, I mean, 9 rounds in a row is commendable. It's so nice, right? And especially, I mean, I think it's just one of the most balanced maps on the map pool. So the scoreline that AT Gaming has already is impressive, right? 9 rounds on the terrace side or on the CD side, both the sides it works pretty well. And we still have 2 more rounds, actually 3 more rounds to go, so including this one. This is going to be interesting. Is this going to be a 12-3 half? Looks like it because the way AT Gaming has been playing, and is more on that, you know, the way SRA has been playing. Right? Most of the rounds AT Gaming has been pulling off, but certain rounds where SRA had the mad advantage, it looked like they could have pulled it off. It's just SRA Gaming losing those rounds more than AT Gaming pulling it off. But Deathmaker get the first one, he's gonna get the second one as well. Oh, maybe not Negative. He's going to get taken down to 11 points. And how does this happen? Negative. You cannot allow these shots to get connected. And well, Ryder is going to find the headshot onto Afflex. It is going to be Major and Guru in a 2v4. Again, they somehow or the other, they find themselves in these situations. And they don't learn from the mistakes, do they? They are not getting the trades right. And if it's an execute, if it's a fast play, just fall back, wait it out for your teammates. Use a resource if you have any. Well, they don't want to listen to me. They don't want to listen to us, and it's a good thing though. Otherwise, it'd just be stream sniping. And the Molotov flashing out Major. Deathmaker, expecting him to be there, is gonna find his third kill for the round, and he has just been going off. And we've seen Deathmaker play with the assault rifles. We've seen him play with the AWP as well. This man is a monster.
Indeed, he is. Deathmaker, Hellfighter, Ritz. They're all like Hellfighter and Deathmaker. They've just been unstoppable phenoms this map, just opening up bomb sites all by their lonesome. And frankly speaking, let's not forget, credit where credit is due. Ritz and Kappa, they've come out clutch multiple times this first half. And again, see, that's the thing. The way AT have been playing this T side looks impressive now in this current context, but ATE have a long way to go even on this map, because a team worth their salt or a half-decent CT side would have been able to shut down this ATE mid-heavy style of play quite easily. And SRA, again, like I said the previous round, right, their insistence on force, like finally Guru stepping up to the plate and delivering a couple of kills. But in the meantime, Kappa and Ritz finding, oh wow, Negative just shut Ritz down. But now it's again down to Kappa and Deathmaker. Deathmaker with the AWP, Kappa with the AK-47. Can they make something happen? Negative making plays, but Deathmaker's there to shut him down. No armor, that is always going to be a problem. The P250 just gonna run through Negative's face like a hot knife through butter, but Dream is in a very good position. Gets the kill on a Deathmaker. And Kappa, can he clutch it out? Spots Dream. Oh, that's going to be a costly miss. No armor. There's no armor. Kappa, 1v2. Can he do this? Gonna try and peek out with a flashbang.
Just something that time will tell us. But in the meantime, Kappa, they're throwing out the flashbang. He's going to get destroyed by Major though. And somehow finally pulling him off one round after losing 10 rounds in a row. And that was quite a huge losing streak. And Kappa in a situation where he could not really have done much except for be a little more fast. But again, you know, he has been around for such a long time, but it's fine. They have more than enough rounds to work with on the terrace side and on the CT side. Look at that! An auto sniper, 2 ops to work with, only 2 assault rifles now. This is gonna be interesting, right? We've seen this come in from a few challenger teams. I remember Kashif, if you know him. He used to play for GMD for a bit, and he used to do this a lot. He was one of the guys who I saw regularly with the auto sniper here on the bomb side. And what was that? Ritz just going in. This guy does not know any boundaries, and he's doing something. What is even going on? He is doing something that should not be happening in a matchup like this. And Ryder is going to get taken out. Ritz is going towards a B bomb side and dropping down the window with an arm, and the amount of balls on that guy, right? So balls in Ritz. He's probably going to find the 4th one as well. Actually, the second. Oh wait, how many kills did he get? Ah yeah, a quad kill coming in from Ritz. While I can't even call it a lurk, can you?
No, that was just YOLO. Ritz just, you know, jaan hatheli pe rakh ke ghus gaya wo bas B bomb site mein, jaisa kehte hain na. And my god, did that pay dividends. Nobody on SRA was even remotely ready for the aggression that Ritz brought to the table that final round. He just went absolutely bananas, and that was glorious to watch. Ritz, that was harkening back to his glory days when he was one of the premier oppers in the country, if I'm not mistaken. Ritz's name rang out simultaneously alongside that of Rix as being one of the most potent oppers in the country, and he just showed us why that was the case once upon a time.
Well, talking about the buys on both the sides, it is going to be Kappa with 2 flashes and a kit, which can work out as well. He's not going to go in for that smoke, and Ryder is going to miss that jump out. So just pushing out having the USPS to work with, is this going to work out? The Afflex is probably... No, never mind. You can't really hear him from that distance. But Deathmaker just waiting it out towards the CD base. It's going to be Hellfighter watching the cross, and Negative is going to get spotted. Hellfighter just tapping away. He's going to do some damage, taking Negative down to 87 points of health. And in the meantime, Ryder is going to go down to Afflex. So a little disappointing for AT Gaming, but in the meantime, Slaughter Rage Army trying the best to not make a mistake and get one more frag call, first in the rotation, and then go in for the round. So, well, it looks like it could be an underpass to connect ahead. Not quite sure. One of the guys is towards connected, just checking it out, and Ritz being so ever so. Afflex is going to delete Ritz off the server while Ritz was tapping inside the Palace, and Kappa connecting a headshot but not being able to get the frag. The flashbang is going to go out, which is going to go right behind him, and Negative is going to find the headshot onto him. In the meantime, Hellfighter on the rotation, he's just going to wait it out, is going to allow the C4 to get planted as well. Waiting for a C, but he's not going to spot the terrace coming around the corner. Negative is going to get spotted finally, and Hellfighter is going to go around the corner, and Afflex has been connecting some nutty shots, first making in the first one, not being able to get the second, is going to get taken down, and Slaughter Rage Army picking up the first round in the second half.
Alright, so some fight still left in SRA. They pick up the ever so important round. But as we've seen time and time again, it's not the pistol round that's the problem with any of these teams. It's the anti-force. Obviously, ATE are going to force into this round. They have a huge buffer of 6 rounds to experiment a little bit. So obviously, they're going to go in for the force by Ryder, though, deciding not to. Not buying anything. And Deathmaker, just with the upgraded pistol. No, he's dropped the scout for it. Alright. So Ryder, I think, is saving up for the AWP, and Kappa's going to go pushing alone. Not a big fan of this solo push. Alright, so he's not going to go all the way. Just the tip, Mamba. Just the tip. Not all the way. Is the motto that Kappa's adopting. Guru needs to be careful. He's going to decapitate Kappa with the utmost of ease. Negative's going to come out. Deathmaker's right underneath him, and... Well. That was a bit cavalier from Deathmaker. Guru and Negative opening up the fragging department, and now in the blink of an eye is just Hellfighter all alone. And Major... What the heck?
And well, Guru is going to finish things off. It is going to be a Hellfighter is going to go down, and the anti-eco going in the favor of the team which had the guns to work with. So finally the curse is going to get broken. It is going to be 6-11 the scoreline in the favor of AT Gaming. And this is going to be a throw around, so to speak. They could just probably get a few P250s to roll with if they please. Ryder is going to go in for the op, and in the meantime, the Terry side, they have everything in the world they need to work with. They have 5 AK-47s, a lot of resources, and the CTs are going to be coming in for an A aggression. So 3 guys trying to go in towards Palace. It's going to be Guru find the flag towards B bomb side, and Negative might just get bombed around. He's going to get destroyed by Deathmaker. What a shot! What a shot by Deathmaker. It's going to be Major waiting out towards... wait, what do you call this place? Boost? I don't know. But Kappa is going to get spotted, and he's not going to get taken down. So information is going to get passed on. Major is going to be in a really tough spot to play with. Ryder being spotted right there. He does not have to concentrate on that angle, and Kappa again not being taken down. Still surviving, and Major, you have to hit those shots. You cannot afford to miss those. He's going to fall back. He's probably going to get taken down as well. He's going to get spotted. He's going to get obliterated to pieces, and Major is going to go down. It is going to be Dream, Guru, and Afflex in the control of the B bomb side, and the CTs have done a lot of damage on a completely eco round, right? I mean, you've gotten 2 guns off them, and you have the control of them as well.
I just save these rifles as of now, not even bother going for the retake. Deathmaker, I think, is just going out. Why is he marking his own player? Anyway, little bit of miscommunication coming in. I'm assuming, there we go, Deathmaker. Not really anything invested in the round. He can just be the decoy there, try and hold off the players who might want to take these guns away from ATE. And yeah, Ryder and Kappa more than happy to just save and hold on to these AK-47s, which will definitely come in handy going into their first buy round.
And well, it's going to be Kappa and Ryder just saving it up, as you said, and Dream on the hunt with the bomb says not going to spot anyone, which shouldn't really be a problem for him. I mean, they have all the cash in the world they need. But the CTs can actually go in for a double upside with the please now. Or maybe not. They'll have to go in for a glass cannon. No, nonetheless, they still have two AK-47s being salvaged. Or was it only one? Wait a minute. I think I missed out on something. Alright,
I think the AK has been dropped for Ritz. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Alright, I thought it's just a lack of sleep that's kicking in right now because I completely missed out on the fact where the AK went, right? So yeah, we still have 2 AKs being started. Ryder is going to go into his bit trying to find that frag, is going to be on top of the bench, which is a slightly an off angle, right? Because it's a harder shot to hit when you come in from the T-base, but the smoke coming in Hellfire is going to have a clear view. And the only time I think the smoke makes sense is when there are people towards mid and you want to throw in a flashbang inside the smoke. But Ryder in the meantime is going to find an opening frag with the optimal weapon. And ATE Gaming taking the B apartments control, being really aggressive towards the B bomb site. Now they have all the information they need, and Deathmaker is going to be under palace. So this is a lot of map control they have. I think this is a little too much, to be very honest, because they have all the control towards the B apartments. Rich just waiting it out. The flashbang going towards mid. I am not quite sure why, because no one's speaking. One of the guy towards chairs, and Major is just going to be falling back.
I mean, what SRA should have done actually is try and draw out some utility and mark for aggression. You know that as ATE is going to be low on utility. You know that, it's their first buy round. They did force after the pistol round, so utility is going to suffer. Instead, they go marching in and walk into Ryder one by one. This is just ridiculous Counter-Strike coming out from SRA. I really expected a lot better from them, but there we go. Opening frag onto Major. It's all going to come down to Kappa, who's going to take him down. Who's going to be taken down from the Guru. It's a 2v3. Hellfighter so very low, 12 HP. He's on the precipice of death. And it's going to come down to Dream and Major to keep the Dream alive for SRA. There's 2 players coming in from B short, 1 player coming in from Market. Dream marking B short. Oh, I really like this coming in from Ryder. Ryder getting spotted out, getting legged down to 15 HP, but Hellfighter gets the kill. Now Major in a 1v2. Can he clutch this? Missing a lot of shots, and Deathmaker is gonna put the final nail into the coffin. Hammers it in with a resounding thud. And with that, ATE move on to 12 rounds. Do they have enough time? Yes, they do. That defuse is gonna come in. One of the ops will still get salvaged. And I think Deathmaker's going for the second. There we go. Double ops from here on out for ATE Gaming. Ritz is... He's just eyeing that op like nobody's business. He's like, mine. And there we go. 12 rounds to ATE SRA on 7th. They do have enough money in the kitty for a full proper buy, but they really need to win this. They need to go for more aggression. It's the same thing we saw from them during their CT side. Passive across the board. Not eager to take the fights, and they're going to pay the price for their passiveness. This is not the Indian freedom struggle. Non-violence will not get you anywhere in Counter-Strike. You need to assert your dominance. You need to take the initiative. And so far, they've just not been doing so.
Well, it's going to be a pretty slow round coming in, and oh boy, have you been talking about things, right? Because sometimes I mean, what you say is absolutely right, but sometimes just the words that you use is people find a little offensive, but I see nothing wrong with that. Because you're just being honest about it, and you have to be critical, right? We as casters, when we do our job, it could sound a little too critical at times, even though we do have Adi, our dedicated salt guy, the analyst, for tearing teams a new one. But in the meantime, getting back to the game, it is going to be a slow-ish B hit. We have the Molotovs going in as well. Not quite sure why, because there's a smoke. There's no one coming up, and Kappa just waiting out. The flashbang coming up, blinding Ritz and Kappa negative. And this is a fake which has been sold. Only one guy towards A bombs, and Guru has to go in and get the control of Jungle's area, at least if not the bomb side, and the rotation is going to come back in. Now this is going to be a problem for the Terry side, because everything they did towards the B bomb side is going to go down in weight. It is going to go down the drain, and the rotation has come in towards A bomb side. Even though they Deathmaker missing a shot is quite uncharacteristic of him, and Red's just waiting it out. He's going to spot Mage. He's going to go down, and Guru is going to go down as well. Can he get the third? Nope, that is not going to happen. And Affleck's getting 2 frags. So the Dream is going to find the headshot. Actually, no, he's going to find the flag on a Deathmaker. And Ryder all alone in a 1v2. Can he pull this off? Though this is going to be a huge task for him. And quite an impressive round if he can actually pull this off. He's going to get spotted though. And he's going to be scoped in. And the nade coming up is not going to be soft damage. He has to do a lot of work at this point. He has to get this round, because if he doesn't get this one, it's just going to be the economy being completely broken, and it's a very crucial round for both the teams as well. So it's Afflex and Dream just waiting it out. Ryder scoped in. He does have kill. Joker is going to miss out on the shot, and Afflex is going to find the frag onto him, and SRA walking away with one more around the scoreline. It's going to be 8-12 in the favor of the CT side.
I mean, if you notice the way ATE are also playing their CT side. Yes, they're slightly more dynamic than SRA were, but even they are falling prey to that same rut where, everyone's just playing their allocated position. Communications are a bit off because they had the man advantage that previous round, and losing that, they had no business losing that. And it's again coming down to very static CT sides from both teams. Now ATE are broke. They're more or less looking at a double eco, and SRA can actually shrink that gap down to 2 rounds and maybe make a game out of this. And it's still, not out of their hands yet. The reason though ATE are having better luck finding kills and finding rounds on their CT side is because SRA are so bloody passive all the time. Guru finally gonna make his way out, but there we go. The opening kill does come his way. Only one player, that's Hellfighters, dancing in the middle of nowhere. And the push does come in, and Major ever so ready, ever vigilant, marking the backstab. And the B bomb site ripe for the taking. Bomb has made its way. Bomb has gotten put down. Down goes Hellfighter, and now it's all down to Ryder with a USP and a dream.
And in a 1v5, I think that's a little too much to ask for. He's just gonna fall back, and he doesn't really have to save anything. He could just get a frag or two while being on the run, and it's gonna Major is just gonna walk right past him. Ryder just waiting, not really doing anything, and Major making his way towards the T base, and he is probably gonna see him. He is gonna see him. He's gonna try and find the flag onto him, and all right, he's not gonna take the shot. He could have probably gotten that frag. And Dream, in the meantime, is going to absolutely destroy him because he just made a mistake right there. He should have taken that shot. I just don't see the reason why would he not want to take that shot. Can you explain this to me, Fed?
Why not, right? At the end of the day, is not really hurting anyone. You don't have anything invested, just have a USP. Might as well. You're going to get that regardless of the next round, what happens. So, there's no point. And yeah, there we go. Why? Okay, Ritz has the money, so he's the only one who's bought anything into this round. Just upgraded pistols, and Ritz with the scout needs to be careful. Oh, Ritz spots out the scalp, but unable to land that very difficult shot, to be very honest. And Kappa, trying to make the mid jump, is gonna go towards underpass. He's gonna hold that little cubby. Oh, getting spotted out, and Dream. This time he's not gonna get caught off guard. This time he's gonna land the kill onto Kappa. Man advantage to SRA, ATE. This is more or less an eco and a throw round, so I think they'll just be looking to do as much economic damage as possible. And Hellfighter, for a second there, I thought he's going to land that Deagle collateral, but a flurry of kills later, it's just Ryder again with the... Wow! Okay then. He gets the AWP. Cool.
Well, he's been stream sniping, so to speak. He finally took the shot. Finally. I guess the AWP as well to work with, so... Not quite sure what is happening. This is a little confusing for me, right? Because the terrace side was almost flawless for AT Gaming. This is something that has been happening with SRA as well. Ryder is going to miss out on the first shot. Connects the second and can get the third one as well. Nope, that is not going to happen. He's going to get taken down. He's going to lose the AWP as well, and that is going to be the 10th round on the board for a Slaughter Rage Army now. AT Gaming. I fail to understand what is exactly happening with them, because they were looking so sharp, right? They were looking so strong in the first half on the terrace side, and somehow on the CD side, they've just not been able to show up, and they haven't even went in for a tactical timeout for some reason. If you're losing out on so many rounds in a row, might as well just take some time off, wash your face if you don't have anything to talk about, and get back in the game with a clear head. But they don't want to do that, so we'll see what happens in this round. Ryder making his way towards the left side of the window. Deathmaker playing really aggressive as well. Doesn't really have to do it. But he's going to try and do that. But the setup from the series, it's going to be one guy towards a B bomb site, one towards short, one inside the window, two towards a bomb site. It's more or less a default. And now we have, Dream is going to find the flag on the Ryder. That was such a good shot. And the positioning was not really good from Ryder as well. So, huge pick coming in the favor of Slaughter Rage. I like what Deathmaker is doing. They lost a play towards a bomb site. Might as well try and get that information. Yeah, it could have worked in a different way had there been someone towards the T base, but you have to take that risk. You can't do anything apart from just waiting it out. But the Molotov is going to go in, which is going to stop one player, and the flashbang blinding everyone. It is going to be Afflex who's going to get spotted. Will get taken out by Reds, and Kappa getting a flag onto negative. He's just going to wait. One more Molotov coming towards man, and he's going to force out Kappa. Oh, look at that! All right, Kappa swiping way too hard. and he's going to get taken down finally. It is going to be Guru all alone in a 1v3, right? Is on 9, actually 16 points. Fell Deathmaker does not need to pick, but he's still going to find the frag onto Guru, and that is going to be the second round for ET Gaming in the second half. 13-10, the scoreline in the favor of the CTs, and finally half decent round coming from ET.
Yep, and that actually came down to a very good call for rotation from Kappa, who was playing B solo. He held that down exceptionally well, just dancing around the pillars, just staying alive, allowing for the rotations to come in. And what really irked me about that SRA hit towards the B bomb site, because that was the right call, that was the site with just the one player in it, is that how clueless they were once they entered the bomb site. Everyone was just looking completely lost, just looking anywhere but where Kappa would most probably be playing from, and just dying, walking in left, right and center like headless chickens. Communications, ladies and gentlemen, needs to be on point, and a Flex needs to be careful. Ritz play marking that pixel angle, trying and get a shot off towards an unsuspecting advancing terrorist. And again, the thing is, there was a complete breakdown of communication on SRA's front once the B hit came in, and it was clearly evident everyone just died. And I hear that, Mamba. Mosquitoes are annoying, aren't they? They're really,
I wasn't
really
a mosquito.
annoying.
I just moved my chair a little too much and it cracked. Perks of a studio mic, right? It picks up everything that happens in your house. And Reem, in the meantime, is going to find the opening. Deathmaker is going to get taken down. And it's just my back, killing me right now because I've spent too much time on Forest today. And in the meantime, Hellfire is going to get caught off guard. Being on the ladder, hanging off a ladder, and he's going to go down. It's going to be Ryder inside jungle. He has to get the crossing shot, but the Molotov and the smoke is not going to allow him to do that. In the meantime, Ritz is going to find that opening. The nade is going to go out as well, and the smoke. Well, alright, these smokes are a little confusing, but nonetheless, it's still going to be a 2v2 in the favor of the CTs. And I like the boost. This is what, two most experienced players on the team, and also Ryder is fairly experienced, but I really like this boost. It's just gonna wait it out, try and get the flag on the cross in 12 seconds to work with, and Dream is going to go. Oh, maybe not. He doesn't realize where he has been shot from, and Ritz could probably still get the flag, but oh my god, how lucky do you have to be to not get taken down from that spot and not realize where he got shot from. But Kappa is going to go down. It is going to be Dream who's going to fall back, being absolutely blinded. Ritz is going to be on the backside, gets a shot into his back in a 1v1. Can he pull this off? Afflex is going to get destroyed, and Ritz knows exactly what Afflex was going to try and do. And that was a beautiful, beautiful round coming from the CT side.
Indeed it was. That retake, while not textbook, but effective. And SRA, hats off to them. They brought it down to a 1v1. Unfortunately, Ritz spotting the shadow there as a Flex climbed onto the box and just pre-firing that little angle just off with his head of Flex. Unfortunate for him. And SRA, they're in a bit of a tight spot because they've bought into this round. And if memory serves correctly, yeah, they're going to be on the third round loss bonus if they lose this, which means it's going to be $2,400 if they lose this. And they're not going to have anything to take into the what may possibly just end up being the final round of this game.
Well, could be, because the cash would just Drake, and that would be really upsetting for the Terry side. And Slaughter Rage Army, they have to make this work. It's desperate times for them, and the smoke coming in from the CT's Hellfire is going to smoke it off, try and use that as a one-way, because that's just how the smoke works in this game. Even though it has been patched, it was even worse before this. But it is going to be a slow round coming in. The C4 has been dropped towards the TV room and the terrace side. Look at that though. The Dream is going to get destroyed with that op shot going through his skull, and Negative is almost going to get taken down. Well, it's going to go down right over the follow-up. Nade is going to take him down, and the revenge track coming in towards mid. It's going to be Hellfighter is going to go down. So it's still a 3-3. AT Gaming needs to pull this off in order to try and close things down in their favor, because they've given away a lot many rounds. This should not have been the scoreline the way they were playing in the first half, but nonetheless, Slaughter Rage Army playing the hearts out in the second half. It is going to be Guru Major and Afflex on the CD side, and Ryder just waiting it out inside Palace. Now this is a ballsy play, right? This is such a hard angle to hold, especially with an but I'd still be scared if I had an M4 or an AK to work with a Major. It's going to be coming around the corner. Kappa is going to get destroyed. Such timing. Much wow, but Ritz is just going to wait it out. Major is going to go down. Ritz getting shot onto him. The C4 is going to be planted. Molotov being thrown out, and Ritz almost being taken on. And Afflex, I don't know if he played it correctly or that was just random, but Guru, onto short. Can these guys pull this off? Afflex is in a really good spot right now. He can actually pull this on and get both the frags as well. Ritz is already low. Ryder should probably pass that off onto Ritz, but that's not going to happen. Ritz is going to be the bait. He is going to, go in for the shot, but Guru is going to find the first one. And Ryder get the first one. Can he get the second as well? He has to go around the corner. I think he has spotted the chariots. It is going to be Guru who's going to peek around the corner, just waiting it out, and Guru trying to find the kid, if I'm not mistaken, with the Molotov coming in, and he's going to miss out on the shot. So unfortunate for AT Gaming, and the cash is going down the drain. I think we have a setup for a really, really close match now.
SRA, they needed to win that round, and somehow they do. And now ATE are the ones staring down the barrels of a double eco, and there we go. Finally, the tactical timeout does get called. Should have been called a couple of rounds ago, in my opinion, but well, it doesn't get called now. They've decided, it's time to actually reevaluate what the hell's going on, where are they failing, and it basically comes down to just overpeaking right now. I feel that they've become a bit too complacent with that extremely good lead they had going into the CT side. They've taken the foot off the pedal slightly. They've stopped dictating the pace of the game a little bit. They're more comfortable just sitting back and allowing SRA to do what they're doing. Whatever it is they're doing, it's nothing special, but it's just giving SRA that little extra bit of time to compose their thoughts, even though ATE, again, took the man advantage from SRA the previous round, but Negative was able to seize the initiative because of a lack of any aggression and get a trade frag. And I just feel bad for ATE because that previous round came down to Kappa just looking away at the worst possible moment at B short. He had that angle on lockdown, but that one player making noise in apartments and just looking away when MJR managing to get that one dig. It's all that. This is what CSGO is about. It's just those little things, those little variables that you just have no control over. And ATE, SRA just come away with the round. And with that, ATE now are in a definite spot of bother. And the flex, nice shot onto Hellfighter. Ritz alone towards B short, needs to be careful. Guru's marching in on his position, and Guru's just gonna lay waste to his mangled corpse. There we go, Rider falls. Dream does pick up a kill with that MP9, that's gonna be, MP7, that's gonna be $600. There's money in the bank for him, and he can just continue to, continue his reign of terror with that SMG. Alright, just as I say it, it's gonna get tossed aside like roadkill. But ATE, they're still gonna have to eco this round. Maybe upgraded pistols, maybe. But they'd want to take in as much utility as possible going into what could possibly be the round that takes them to match and map point. And that's why they've decided not to go for the upgraded pistols across the board. And Kappa and Ryder are gonna stick with the USPs.
Now, what they did works in two ways, right? I like what they did. They want to wait it out for the resources, but in the meantime, what's going to happen is that is going to allow SI to build up some sort of economy, right? But I think I'll just explain that in a bit. But we have an AT coming in. The Molotov going in towards the sandwich. The smoke is going to come towards the center of the side. And Deathmaker almost being taken out with the P90. Hellfighter being spotted as well. Deathmaker is going to go down to a headshot. Negative with the P90. It's just going to be spraying down everywhere he spots a CT, and Rain is going to make it go towards the B-bomb side. Being the lurk, there is no one towards the B-bomb side, and this is going to be interesting. I think there is a fight going into a TV room. Ryder is going to find the frag onto him, and that was just unfortunate for Guru, but the C4 is going to go down. So what I was talking about was AT Gaming going in for the resources in the next round is something that I really like. But in the meantime, that is going to allow SRA to build up some sort of economy to mount to come back onto, right? And had they went for force buy, which is a very high risk but also high reward situation, because if you go in for the force buy and you get that round in a situation like this, that's going to break the economy on the terrorist side, and you'll only have to win one more round after that to finish things off, or maybe not even one more round. I mean, you practically get to match point, right? So the economy is not going to be that great. So it's a high risk, high reward situation with AT Gaming going in on a safer choice, going in for the safer choice. And I'm going to wait it out, but in the meantime, Ryder, almost being taken down. And the scoreline is going to be 13-14 in the favor of the CGs. Now, they'll have all the resources they need. They'll have the AWP as well if they please. And Hellfighter is going to have the P90. Alright, this is surprising.
Hellfighter. Oh no, it's been passed on to Ritz. Ritz is like, "Tu P90 karega. Ruk, main dikhata hu P90 kaise karte hain." and pulls out the weapon of mass destruction, or as I like to call it in MM, the automatic AWP. And there we go. Kappa playing a very aggressive angle towards mid with the big green gun. Guru needs to be careful. He's mindful of a mid push, but will he be expecting this? Most certainly will not. Down goes Guru. Kappa opening things up with a bang, but Dream on the other side of the map does find the kill, but Ryder in with the quick trade. The A hit is coming out. Ryder needs to be careful. He's stuck in no man's land. He will get taken down by Negative. Negative doing the smart thing, puts down the smoke, but that smoke is a ghastly one. It leaves them open to so many avenues of attack, pushes, and all that random BS that CS is famous for. It's down to a 3v2. This is gonna get really hairy, and Ritz with the P90. Well, one should always be afraid of the P90, and that is why. Down goes Major. Major playing in a very difficult position, to be honest. And Ritz engaging at the longest possible range at that point. Kappa gets a flex. It's all down to Negative with the AK-47. Kappa is marking that angle like a hawk. Oh! Negative does manage to find the kill onto Ritz, but Kappa's there to get the trade. And that's match and map point for ATE Gaming. SRA, they do get the bomb down. They have just about enough money to go for the buy. A flex with 9k can drop 2 AK-47s. And yeah, so they will be going in for the buy here, SRA. It's desperate times and it calls for desperate measures. And this is, well, the 11th hour, as they say. And SRA, they have nothing to lose. They should just YOLO this and throw everything they've got at it to try and force overtime. Because if they win this round ATE, they're looking at nothing but pistols in the last round. Nice shot from Dream. For all his efforts, yeah, he catches a nade with his thighs. Not the kind of lap dance you want, is it, Mamba?
Absolutely not. But that just reminds me of Ronaldo playing football, right? And that's a brilliant flashbang. Dream being blinded to eternity. It is going to be Negative coming in towards A Palace with the MP7. Not my weapon of choice, especially if you're going to go in towards A Palace, right? Because it's only relevant till you make it to the end of the Palace. And Major is going to find one more frag on a Deathmaker. What is happening? Is this going to be overtime? I'm not quite sure, but the amount of cash that the CDs would have is going to be absolutely terrible. So might as well be an overtime if the CDs cannot pull through this and ride up. Almost being taken down. So it just looks like AT Gaming is in no mood to finish this off 16-13 and want to push it to overtime. But in the meantime, C4 is going to make its way towards the A slope. It is going to be an 8 coming up. We have a lurk towards mid. That is going to be the Guru and a 3v5 situation to work with. The CDs will have to put everything they have. Ryder will have to go huge with that up because, you know, again, it's a one-shot kill. But in the meantime, Hellfire is just waiting. I think he has been spotted. Does not want to peek out at that point. The C4 is going to go down as well. Ryder watching connectors. I don't know why does he have to watch connectors, because there is a guy towards short who's coming in and is going to get destroyed by Guru. It is going to be Ryder all alone in a 1v5, and Afflex is just going to walk past him. And he's going to try and find the frag on him. No, maybe no. He's just going in for the information play. He's going to go in for the knife, just adding insult to injury. Knows that he cannot pull this round off. He's going to fall back. And will get destroyed. A little too ambitious of him right there. And the op is going to go down.
Yep. And like I said, ATE, the Kappa can force up. Ryder can they have to force up. What am I saying? Like, there's going to be a very stretched buy coming out from ATE Gaming, while SRA have it all to play with. That was a very good round that SRA played. I don't think they lost a single player. No, I think only Negative went down. Everybody else made it out alive and kicking. Yes, Ryder does get that cheeky knife in, but at what cost? The cost was almost overtime. And ATE, I really don't understand what's the hold up here. Yes, they would want to take the time out to decide what to do with their horrible buy that they're going to go in with this round. But I think the need of the hour is controlled aggression. Kappa had the right idea that previous round when he aggressed with the up mid and got that opening kill, and they eventually ended up winning the round. But the fact of the matter is, the very next round, after seeing what early aggression can, how high yields early aggression can yield, how high dividends that they can pay, they go passive yet again. And ATE, they are their own worst enemies, I feel, in this CT side, because they've seen how good that early aggression is for them and how poorly SRA adapts to it, and how they can just, they reel from that going that one man down early round. But they just consistently choose to not do it, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. And yeah, Blair's just next to me, and he's just like, how has this happened?
And does he
And-
want to sit down for a round? Ask him
I
if he wants
doubt
to
it.
sit down.
I doubt it.
He lives and breathes CS. I think a break is something that he truly deserves. But in the meantime, CTs putting in everything they have. They have a CZ75, a Swag 7, a FAMAS. They have everything. They have all the different guns that you could possibly use in a game of CS. Scout, UMP, CZ, Swag 7, and a FAMAS. I mean, is there anything left? I don't know. But Dream is going to get naded down to 67 points of health, and Kappa does not want to jump there because the last time he did, I think one of the players on the CD side who jumped last time, he got absolutely, utterly buttered. But that was such a nice rhyme. I think I should just become a poet or something. But the Molotov is going to go out. It is going to be the flashbang coming from the CD side, and Dream taking too much time to avoid that. And that flashbang though is alright because the Molotov came, they expected a push. Negative is going to be lurking in towards A bombs. The Deathmaker holding a really deep angle is going to find the frag onto him. So the first frag coming in, Deathmaker is not going to take a lot of damage, has Kevlar and head armor to work with, so should not be an issue for him. I'm surprised that he went in for the head armor, but in the meantime, they have the man advantage. Now all they have to do is just wait it out. And they have a decent amount of guns as well. They have an M4, a UMP from us. So Axe 7 and a Scout, so Ritz. Surprised that he went in for the Scout. But let's hope it works out for him because this is going to be a desperate buy. Ryder is going to be jumping in Hellfire. It's going to be coming towards shot. It's going to find the flag though. It's going to find the second. Nope, that is not going to happen. And the trade coming in really quickly. Ryder is going to be walking into his B-bomb side. Has to be careful. Kappa is in a really good spot. Is he going to get spotted or maybe not? It is going to be Guru who's going to go down. Can he find the second frag? I don't think Guru knows where he was, and Kappa is just going to wait. Dream is going to go down as well. Kappa just standing on top is going to get 2 frags, and Ryder getting the last frag onto Major, and they are going to close things down 16-14 in their favor. This was a very close game, and honestly, I did not expect this, Fed.
Yeah, well, the one takeaway I can guarantee from that I can take away from this map is the fact that neither SRA nor ATE really know how to play their CT sides on Mirage. Both were pretty poor, but SRA was like ATE was just that shade better when compared to ATE was just that shade better on their CT side when compared to SRA. But a lot of work still needs to be done here, and I hope that in the coming months, both SRA and ATE figure out their CT side. Anyway, guys, that's all from our side. I hope you guys had fun. Do hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Over to the studio, Adi and Vagish. No, it's not Vagish. It's Angela today, I think.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership studio segment. I'm with Adi and you. That was a very interesting game. I mean, SRA did perform pretty well, and it was a very close, nail-biting game. So tell me more about it.
It's a game of basically bad CT halves, and like both the teams really didn't figure out how to play CT at all. And AT Gaming just because I told you this was going to be close, right? Like, and AT will take it. And for a second there, I thought they weren't going to take it, to be honest. It went all the way down to the wire, right?
Yeah.
And it's
just like yesterday.
yeah. Well, yeah. The thing is, what I want to say about this game is basically, I have a couple of stats to bring up first as well. Not bring up, but I want to talk about basically the SRA. First of all, the reason why this game got so close as well. SRA won both the pistols, and on the back of that, they have won both their anti-ecos as well. So they basically have a 6-round advantage right there, right? Yeah. And in the first half, when SRA was CT, they never won a gun round. That's it. They never won a gun round. They won the pistol, then they won the 2 anti-ecos after that. And then the first round they won was round number 14, which was actually a pistol buy. It was an eco. It was only a couple of pistols here and there. And AT just got picked off here and there. And it was AT's fault. But SRA did not even win one proper gun round on their CT side. So they really need to go back and look at their CT side and play the way I told them, basically. What I was saying earlier, right? Even AT needs to actually do this more. They did do it a few rounds. They did play CT aggressively, but not enough at all. SRA, I don't think they aggressed ever except when it was pistol rounds. Like, only when they were eco is when they showed some aggression on on the CD side, and you need to play the gun rounds that way. You need to aggress and get picks, get the advantage, and then fall back to your positions. Just holding back at the bomb side 1v1, hoping that you get a 1v1 at your angle
Yeah.
is not going to it's not going to work out in a map like Mirage. And ATE towards the end, lots of really good plays by Ritesh as well as Kappa to save this game, by the way, for them, because it was really towards the end it was ATE's individual brilliance. It wasn't team play. They didn't really play this map, especially the CD side, the way it's supposed to be played. But at least the T side by AT was much better. Their mid control was really good. And of course, that was helped by the fact that SRA did not ever contest mid at all very really well. That was like I was screaming, throw a pop flash from the A bomb side and pick pick from the window, pick from connector, pick middle. And they never did that. But while on the other side, Ryder, Kappa on AT side did push mid and get an op pick here and there, things like that. So SRA needs to learn from that basically. And
all right.
other
so
than that, I mean that's
if
basically
you had
what I have to say.
to name out an MVP for me, who do you think has managed to make himself look brilliant in this matchup?
It's Kappa. Interesting. To be honest, I was thinking about between Kappa and Ritesh. But Kappa had a really good game, to be honest. 1.16 IR, which is the impact rating. 18 frags, decent ADR. He had a lot of impact rounds, actually, is what made it for him. He had a 1v2 win as well as a 1v1 clutch win as well. 3 opening frags, 2 revenge frags, 4 trade frags. And a special shout out to Ritesh as well, because he had a 1v2 win as well. And 2 quad kills as well for
And
Ritesh.
he did have a knife also. I saw him knife somebody in the game too.
That was Ryder.
Oh, that was Ryder.
Yeah, who
Okay.
knifed the guy. I was like, that was actually not bad by Ryder, by the way. He realized that he needs to save that op, and he was like, oh, I get $1,500 extra if I knife him, right?
Yeah.
So he killed him, got $1,500 extra, but then unfortunately he could not save that op.
Yeah.
But it turns out they didn't need it, right? They still won with the swag 7s and the
Yeah.
MP5s and whatever they with the piss poor artillery, basically, to say, so to speak. The armaments, they were so bad, and they still managed to close out that game because of smart positioning at the B bomb side, basically. And I mean, hats off to AT for closing it out under the worst of circumstances.
All right, so with that, we have a winner for today's Counter-Strike Global Offensive game. It's going to be ATA Gaming, who's going to make their way higher on that board. But don't go anywhere, folks.